Well, today I decided not to set up the gimbal in the parking lot. Let's just bring it in the car. I'm in my beater car, by the way, as you can see. But there it is, seat belted up and everything. And there's Josh flying the drone.
Hola.
Bonus. Throwing it in the bonus. And we're before call time, so even before setup time. Being smart with the bonuses.
That's right. Got to take care of our clients who've been with us for years.
Hey, by the way, if you guys haven't seen our review for the cart, check the link in the description. I'm going to have a link to check out Josh's review of the cart. Mine sucked. His was detailed.
Yours didn't suck. It was just different.
Yeah, definitely different and a whole lot shorter. His is a lot longer because it's a lot more detailed. So check it out. The link is in the description to his channel, Storyking Studios. So anyway, today I'm bringing what I'm bringing in the front seat of my car, and it's just a little bit of my gear that I'm adding with the rest of our gear from work over in Josh's car. And it's not a lot this time. Usually we pack Josh's CRV to the max, but that's it. Just that little bit of stuff there and some of the stuff we already pulled out. As you can see, that gimbal right there in the ring, it was already assembled. And, I had it seat belted in the front seat, like I said. And I'm doing that because this shoot is so small. We didn't have to bring the cart, as you see. And we're just setting up some light stands. And we got the transmission system going, so we're going to have the monitor. And that's about it. And the reason why we're doing all that is like Josh said earlier, we've worked with this client for years, and so we've already shot a bunch for them, and they're buying some airtime for a commercial. And so all we have to do is just do a few pickup shots and then add it to the stuff that they already have, and they'll be set for their commercials. So this is a real quick shoot. I think it's going to be like about an hour and a half we spent there. Josh also brought some audio gear so that we could get some voiceovers of the people working there. And it's not a professional voiceover, but they do a pretty good job there, so it's good enough. And it's going to be usable. So as I was saying, this is the lobby. This is the waiting area where parents can watch their kids do gymnastics. On the other end, they can watch them swim. And this part is relatively new since we've been shooting with them. This is relatively new. And so these are the pickup shots that we're going to be doing. The lobby, the entrance, check-in and all that. And as you can see, this is our footprint. It's pretty small compared to what we usually bring. Now, everything that we usually bring, we bring it in the cart, and it's usually broken down. So when it's not in the cart, it's just all in the open. But setup was a little bit less because we didn't have to set up the cart and then set everything on the cart and then take everything off of the cart when we get to the spot. It's just take it out of the car, open it up, put them on the stands, roll them in. So it was relatively easy. Now, the crazy thing about this here this time is I'm using two 220 watt hour V-mount batteries to power our Nanolite 720. And they only go up to the light only goes up to about 40% simply because it's a regular V-mount. It's, it's large. It's 220 watt hours, but it's not the ones with the higher amperage, I believe it is. Higher voltage or higher amperage. I'm not 100% sure, but it's the next step up when it comes to V-mounts, and they're like really expensive. You get a 200 watt hour battery at that higher, I believe it's the amperage, and man, that thing is like about $250 to $300 per battery. And when you hook those babies onto that light, then you could pump out 100% of its power, which is 800 watts on this guy. I know it's called the 720, but they're always cranking out more wattage than they list on their fixtures. So that guy pumps out 800 watts. So if you consider that it pumps out 800 watts at 40%, it's somewhere around 300 watts, which is not bad. It's pumping out 300 watts of light off of two relatively cheap V-mount batteries. And so now here, as you can see, what we're trying to do is just get some push-in shots with the gimbal. Kind of push in even almost crane style. As I was coming from my chest, I'm doing the backwards of it right here, but I'm coming from my stomach, chest area, and then going up so that I can see over their heads and see the kids swimming in that enclosed swimming area. Did it a few times just to make sure that I'm getting the shot. And then I decided to go left and get like a parallax type of shot. So here we are, just moving everything around. We're going to get a shot now of the lobby and the waiting area into the gymnastics training facility. What we're going to do is trying to get something wide. Well, we were actually hoping to get something wide first. And actually, as Josh went to go get some from the car, I'm like, I'm just going to pick up these shots right over the shoulder of these folks here looking at their child get trained. It ended up being a pretty good shot, and we ended up using it in the edit because looks pretty good. You know, parents are watching their child get trained, and that's exactly what we're going for. The idea is, hey, there's great places for you guys to sit and relax and, you know, watch your kids as they interact with the coaches and whatnot. So it ended up being pretty good. One of the things that I gotta say is this monitor that we keep bringing on set. We definitely bought it with the intentions for clients to use it. And there have been shoots where clients are, you know, trying to look over our shoulder or, you know, they're looking at us on what we're doing, you know, live, but they would love it if they would see it in the monitor. And we've had clients who saw what we were doing on a monitor and they were like, wow, that looks so amazing. And, you know, it's worth its weight in gold when it works. There are times where we're using that monitor and, you know, nobody's looking at it and we are actually the ones looking at it. And that's definitely the case here. The client just kind of checked us in, let us know, hey, everything's good. You want to film right there? Cool. And then that was it. Kind of checked out and let us do our thing alone. And which is cool. You know, it leaves us to do what we want to do. But, you know, the wow factor of, you know, the show of filmmaking that I always talk about here on this channel kind of goes away when you don't have the client over your shoulder and wanting to see everything that you do, because that's where the wow factor comes in. That's where that ooh, ah, and all that good stuff, you know, the whole ring and everything, because I have no problem using, you know, the gimbal with the pistol grip. I do like the ring better because I can get two hands on it and I put it into the pan follow tilt mode. I used to love that with the Ronin M, and I didn't have that with, you know, these pistol grip gimbals, and now having it, you know, with the ring, I do like that. But sometimes when it's like, you know, just run and gun real fast like this, I don't mind the pistol grip. You know, this ring and everything like that, it's all for the show of filmmaking. And you can also mount different things like, you know, the monitor and the transmission system and everything like that. Now, what's going on right here, and these are not my favorite types of shoots, and I'll tell you why. This is for real guerrilla filmmaking. Like, in other words, we're here and we're getting these shots. You can even see the child. She's looking right into the camera. It's because we're just picking off shots. Josh was, you know, kind of looking everywhere like, where can I get this shot? I want to get shots of people. And so, you know, you see him saying hi, and then here you go. Getting a shot here, getting a shot there. And we're just, you know, we're like hunters looking to pick off shots where we can to make the film work. And if you have ever gotten the taste of, you know, a scripted commercial, doing everything properly with actors and scripts and or even if there's not really a script, there's an idea, there's shots. In other words, it's not capturing live things like this right here. You know, these things I don't like as much is because we don't know what's coming. We don't know what's going to happen, and we're just hoping to pick them off. And we definitely can. We definitely can. You know, we've been in filmmaking long enough to be able to, we've honed our skills enough to see when we can jump into the right place at the right time. And, you know, Josh is definitely doing that here, other than that kid looking right into the camera. But we caught enough to make this commercial happen. But the point I was trying to make was, you know, I would rather shoot something that is planned out, scripted out, and you know, everybody knows that we're doing it. You know, some of these parents we had to, you know, tell, hey, we're going to be filming today. Would you mind being in the shot? And, you know, a lot of them were down, but it's not ideal. I'd rather have something that's much more scripted and planned. But, guess what? This pays the bills. And that's what we're doing here today. And I think that's the big thing that needs to be thought about as we are doing these things. As I'm making these vlogs, you know, there are quite a bit of shoots that we do that are corporate work where we're sitting and we're talking to a talking head. And then when we're going to do some B-roll, we're like, hey, can you do this? And I'll shoot it. Can you do that? I'll shoot it. But then there are other times where we have to do things on the fly. That's like I said before, super guerrilla filmmaking. Just jump on the scene and let's just do it. Hop out of the car and do it just like that, and capture what you can. And this is basically some of that. The first setups that we did, and I'm not talking about here today, but the ones we did years before, those consisted of, hey, run down the ramp, do the flip off of the thing, and so on and so forth. But this one is not. You could see that, you could see that kid who's just staring at what's going on. But hey, that's what we were doing today. And a lot of these shots, again, like I said, when you have experience at it, you know how to get these shots. And so that's what we're doing. We're moving around the building, getting shots, playing with the lighting, trying to see which is the position where the lighting looks best. So we're doing all that good stuff. And, we definitely got the shots that are going to make it into the promo, into the commercial. But yeah, as I was saying, you don't always do everything that's, scripted, or commercials where you got, scripts and planned out actions and storyboards and whatnot. And you got to pay the bills, you know what I mean? So, and thank God that, we even have this job. I always talk about how much I love my job. So anyway, here I am changing the lens now. We definitely got some of the other stuff, but we need some super wide. So I put the 14 mil Rokinon manual photo lens on this guy. We got some pretty cool lenses, but this guy has been, it comes in the clinch and it saves us so many times. And it's just a basic photo lens. I think I got it for $250, back in 2018, and it's just been clinch, man. It is a clutch player because there are so many times where we need something, wide, and this is it's pretty wide. It's not fisheye where it's distorting everything, but it's pretty wide. Matter of fact, here's an example of it right here. There's a tiny bit of distortion at the very extreme edge, but that's correctable in post. And I was getting this cool shot and it was looking really good, and then realized it's so wide I could see Josh. And so Josh then turned the phone on me like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Man, I had such a good shot." And I turned the corner and there you are. I was even getting some of the chords in frame once I turned too far. So anyway, here we are breaking down, just rolling everything out to the curb, and then from the curb over to the car, and then everything back in the car. And this is the part where Josh goes in and he records the lady, and she's the voice talent, and she takes care of it all in the voiceover. And so while he's in there, I'm packing up. And once again, just like my vlog before where I talked about, is it possible to film by yourself? It sure is, but it's just more work when it's one guy. So yeah, breakdown took me just a little bit longer because it was just me. But as I said in the beginning, it was an easy setup, so an easy breakdown. All right, y'all, I'll see you on the next one.